Hey, everybody. Welcome into another episode of the Seahawker Show with your host, Todd Fox. First, hey, if you could like and subscribe to this video and tell your friends about it, I'd love it. If I do a good job, absolutely share if you can. It's greatly appreciated. I'm trying to get this page off the ground. But before we get into anything, it is the Seahawks Show Week 2 preview of the Seattle Seahawks 1-0 versus the 1-0 New England Patriots. Now, on paper, last year or whatever, before Brady left, this was going to be a huge game at the Clink. But then we had COVID and we had Brady leaving to Tampa. And now we have an empty stadium and we have Cam Newton. Now, that doesn't take too much out of the game, because you still have Belichick and everything else like this, and this team can still be dangerous, as we saw in Week 1. Yes, it was against the Miami Dolphins, and yes, we played the Atlanta Falcons, two teams that both these teams should have beat and took care of business in Week 1. So in Week 2, let's go over the pros and cons for us getting a victory and what to look out for with the Patriots. So as I start this video out real quick, I'm going to get to it. Obviously, it's Patriots and I'm going to turn down the, well, I'm trying to turn down the sound right here. Right here is the highlights from last week's Atlanta Falcons game.
Todd Gurley both in the backfield, and here is the first Atlanta Falcon touch for the former Georgia Bulldog.
Now, on this play right here, this was going to test the Seahawks. The Seahawks defense, yes, is secondary and safety heavy along with linebackers. However, running against the Seahawks vertically has been a problem. And so right here, as you saw with their defensive linemen, not all that great as far as speed. They're more stuffing the middle. So guys like Poona Ford and a couple of the other guys up front, the rookies, aren't really good at trying, like the Atlanta Falcons defense was, running vertical. Well, that's the only thing that Atlanta did good defensively. As far as, on the defensive side for Seattle, they got to pick this up because they can't let run plays like this gash them. And unfortunately, like you'll see in some of the plays that I'm going to show you from what the Patriots did to the Dolphins, that's the stuff we have to look out for. Now, here's another run by Todd Gurley.
Justice, equality, love, that's what they're going for. And now they are just so thankful to be out there playing, guys.
Stretch plays like this where the linebackers missed. They missed right up in here in the line and created the hole for Gurley. When you run a stretch play like this and you catch guys out of whack right here, that could be a problem. And that's what happened right here. And that's why Gurley gets the good secondary level. He gets past the linebackers and actually gets out to the safety right here. And
that Lindsay,
that shouldn't happen. So luckily last week, Seattle stopped that. Gurley rushed for like 49 of his 56 yards in that first half, mostly first quarter and a little bit of the second quarter before Seattle tightened up and the run game was non-existent the rest of the way.
Touches for Todd Gurley and a productive start to 7.
Now on offense, I feel this is what they need to do. The run-pass option against the Patriots, obviously it's something heavy in their arsenal, but the Seahawks have it as well, and they were probably doing it prior when Russell Wilson, better than anybody really, and when you have Tom Brady, credit to Belichick, because this is what I saw with Tampa Bay in their game. They didn't really modify the game to Brady's strengths, so I think that's why he struggled in the first game. But when it came to Belichick, he didn't keep the same kind of offense that Cam Newton wouldn't be accustomed to, like the Tom Brady offense, the quick slants, this and that. He ran more play actions, more run-pass options, and I think that's why the Patriots, which I'll show you in a couple of highlights, did so well against the Miami Dolphins. Now, with the Seahawks, they got to run these run-pass options too because, again, you don't have Patrick Chung for the Patriots. You don't have Hightower. That's two good defenders that the Patriots don't have, and they still played very dominant against, granted, the Miami Dolphins, but they still played pretty good, and you've got to stretch them out. You got to make them move. You can't crowd the middle and just shove it up the middle all the time. And right here against the Falcons, this is probably the best run. Well, this was their best run out of anything, and it happened to be Russell Wilson. I think he's got to keep a couple of these times in the beginning of the game to keep the linebackers for the Patriots honest and to open things up for Carson and Hyde.
One of the best run stuffers and most productive defensive tackles in the NFL last year. Wilson.
Actually, this is before I get to that highlight. This is what they can't let happen. And let me go back here for a second before the sack here on Russell Wilson. They cannot let the Falcons run guys over here over top and come around, run stunts, and he's got to pick up the blitz a little faster. The Patriots will blitz. Now, here's a play I wanted to show you. I'm sorry.
Wilson under pressure, right on cue. Grady Jarrett. coming off hit. Converted.
Okay, now this is another play on defense that I wanted to highlight, actually. This is one where I brought out in the other video where, okay, so I ranted all that about the run-pass option. I'll get to that in a second. I didn't remember I'd put these other clips in here. But right here, you get a blitz from the corner side with the 5 receivers and no running back. I think they need to intimidate Cam and make him run, if he is going to run, to his non-throwing side, which is the left side of the line. Keep him away from running to his right to where he can actually have the option to pass. So right here, you come with a straight blitz, and granted, this is a pocket quarterback, but even Cam would have to try to throw it if he's trying to get this first down.
4th best 4th down rate in the league last year. Blitz
Boom.
coming in, it's knocked down.
That's what you want to do.
Mayowa.
So here's the plays on offense I was going to show you. So basically, to sum up those last 2 clips, put pressure on the quarterback. I think if Seattle does that and they can protect Wilson from the right side, and then they could come in from the right side on the other quarterback, switch it up a little bit. I think the defense is going to make Cam's day very difficult. Now here's one of the pluses that they could do as far as what I was saying before, stretching the linebackers, making the safeties even come up to the line and be honest, and maybe follow the running back instead of the quarterback, or follow Russell and leave holes open for Carson and Hyde.
Being signed this past week. In fact, a few of them on Friday, including Dalvin Cooks.
How about them running backs all getting paid?
Alvin Kamara got paid as well.
Best run of the day.
This guy's been paid. Russell Wilson. He surpasses 4,000 rushing yards in his career.
Now here's the next play. This next play is Chris Carson, obviously one of his 2 receiving touchdowns. Now what I love about last week's game is Carson wasn't a force in the running game. Obviously, he had like less yards than Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was the leading rusher with 29 yards, but he was a force receiving. And if you can stunt the defense and have them thinking it's a full-on pass, and you could drop this many guys into coverage to block,
Something they
sky's the
obviously
limit.
worked on here during their video conferencing meetings.
Wilson will dump it off for Carson here with blockers in front. Chris Carson, touchdown number 2.
And obviously right here's the 4th and 5 play. Another thing that Seattle needs to do in this game, don't get too conservative. Run a couple play actions. I know this isn't a play action pass, but if you have single coverage at any time, and Russell's been better at this obviously last year and now this year, knowing that he's got a good chance of having one of his 3 receivers single coverage. And if I'm Atlanta in this situation, I would have went single coverage on Lockett. But with Metcalf's size, I mean, you're giving so much advantage, so much speed to this guy. I would have doubled him, but there's going to be opportunities where either him or Lockett, Metcalf or Lockett, will be wide open. And remember, Dorsett's coming back too, former Patriot this week. He's going to be a slot receiver, and he's going to do some damage. But in this game, I'm telling you, go over the top. It's not going to hurt, and I think they can get some single one-on-one coverages, especially if the run game's good and you got a good play-action pass with Carson, getting a run-pass option, go back into a 5-step drop and just chuck it.
From the 38-yard line, Wilson wants it all. Deep ball, Metcalf got it! Touchdown Seattle on 4th down. They leave the offense out there and not only get the first down, they deliver a strike to DK Metcalf.
Now, okay, so that's what Seattle needs to do to be successful. They need to test the waters and go deep. They need to establish the run because they got away with it last week against Atlanta's poor secondary. I don't think they're going to get too many shots like that, but they will get 1 or 2, and especially if they're able to run. So I think for the keys to the game for Seattle on offense, protect, obviously, Russell Wilson, get the throws out of there quick so he doesn't get sacked like on that one clip. He was actually sacked 3 or 4 times in that game. One really rough that should have been a high-low call. And then if you think about it too, establish the run, keep the safeties up, the corners or the linebackers up to watch maybe if Russell keeps it or if the running backs keep it. And then if not, do the play-action pass, and then have Carson press the line on the weak side to give Russell another added second to find one of the tight ends or someone over the top. So they're going to have to mix it up. Bill Belichick is a supreme defensive coordinator or just a mastermind of offense and defense. His resumes, I don't even have to get into it. You know who Bill Belichick is. I mean, so he doesn't have Tom Brady back there, but the Patriots, I'm telling you, will be dangerous in this game. This is not going to be a walkover. This is going to be a game where if Seattle's got to do the small things in order to get to the big things, and if they don't take care of those small things first, it's going to be a long game. And see, there's a reason why I'm showing these Patriots Dolphins clips, because I want to show you what the New England Patriots offense is going to look like. And we've seen Cam before with Carolina, but I think now that he's healthy with New England is using the crap out of him. I think he had 15 rushes for 70 yards in that game, and then they used the little running backs interchangeable, and they gave sort of like a 49er feel where you didn't know which running back's going to get the ball, and it could be one of three guys, and I think that's what they used. And then our offensive line, it didn't get worse. It's still the same Patriots where they could just plug anybody in there, and they're freaking all-stars. So obviously you're not going to see too much with the Seattle secondary, but the two guys that are going to have to play it really, really good watching the line, and I think you can get away with it because you have Jamal Adams with 12 tackles last week. He's going to have to be a force again. Bobby Wagner is going to have to be Bobby Wagner. So they're going to have to watch. I would bring Adams up in the box and have him spy Cam Newton along with Wagner, because stuff like this is going to happen. Let me show you a few clips of what the Patriots did with run pass options with Newton.
Newton still has it and marches up the field for a first down. Named one of the captains, one of 8 players named captain for the Dolphins this week. 2nd and 10.
Now that's what you could do to stop him. You could blitz, but you're guessing. And on a play action pass like that, the Dolphins blitzed and guessed correct. Had he handed off or did something else, see, the Patriots didn't pick that up. So Seattle's got to run with stunts. Hopefully that's Bruce Irvin coming up the middle, or Poona Ford gets loose on a missed block and a missed assignment. Seattle's going to have to stun them a lot. And with their pass rush, they're going to have to get very creative. So hopefully they could do what the Dolphins did right there, not the play before where they got gashed. But here's a couple more.
Cam is dumped back at the 38.
And I think he has a great opportunity in front of him to really resurrect his career and show people how good he is.
He's looking down the field, and he throws.
That's what can get you in trouble. Now see how the tight end was wide open right here. That is all a result of the Dolphins playing up because the run was working and they were getting gashed for 5 or 6 yards a game. There's a reason why this Patriot game ended so quickly. It was one of the fastest games on the weekend because the Patriots played ball control. And why not? You have a good defense, and then if you were creative and you're getting 4 to 6 yards of offense every other play, why not run the clock as well? And the Patriots did this. So the half went by pretty quick because when you're able to get 5 to 6 yard runs like that, the defense has to creep up, and then they bite on the play action. Guys are wide open. So Seattle cannot allow the Patriots to have time of possession because that will hurt the Seahawks offense. It will not help them. And then they'll feel pressured to try to get down there and score instead of playing their game.
Goes a bullet all the way down to the 43. Last year, Tony, they had only 37 catches from the tight ends. Burkhead with no one out there on the edge.
See, no one out there on the edge is because they crept up too close to the line thinking they were going to go over the middle. And Belichick just had the running back go to the left side, and he got down the sideline, picked up like 15 yards.
Able to run over 10 yards before anyone touched him from the Miami 24. Going to keep it. Going to find it.
And that's, again, what the Patriots will do. The same thing that the Panthers did. Design runs for Cam Newton. Cam Newton can frustrate the hell out of you more than Russell Wilson in a way, because at least with Russell Wilson, he goes back to pass, he thinks pass first. Or he might do a run-pass option, and he looks like he's going to pump fake, and then he'll run. Cam is just straight big. And he's going to take the snap, and it's not going to be secretive that he's going to run. Watch this other play right here, where some reason the Dolphins don't load the right side. They follow the tight ends to the left side, and look what Cam does to him.
The first. And Newton takes it in for the touchdown.
That was so freaking predictable. So freaking predictable. He goes weak side all the time. And so if you have, and the Dolphins are looking at each other like, I thought you had him. No, I thought you had him. That's because they're not following a game plan, or the coaching staff called the wrong things. You got to spy on each side. If Lamar Jackson's back there, you know it's a running quarterback. you have to have a spy in the middle and 2 spies on the outside. And if you give up a pass rush to do it, you force that kind of quarterback to beat you with his arm. You don't want this dude rushing for 70 yards. I'm telling you, Seattle will be in trouble if this dude has 40 to 50 yards or more on them come Sunday night.
Up right now.
Now here's what you could do is if you're the Dolphins or if the Seahawks can attack the Patriots defense, watch how New England likes to blitz. They like to bring a lot of guys in the box and threat the blitz all the time. If they're not threatening, they're going to bring it. So here's how you beat it.
Really excited, Cam's here.
2nd and 2. And another good piece of run.
Design runs like that, zone reads, or just, a delayed handoff. And you think it's a pass, you're lining up 4 receivers. Those kind of work.
By Gaskin, who's looked impressive in this quarter.
That's if everyone hits their assignment.
So you're watching empty formation.
Blitz again.
Pressure.
Open.
Stunts with the receivers. Now, those 2 guys that are on the ground right there, they pretty much rubbed each other. Well, pause. But in football terms, they ran into each other, freeing up the slot receiver. He gets open to the side and then runs yards after catch, gets the first down. Stunts like that really work.
And it's Gaskin. They have to punt the football back and give New England time to do anything.
Watched right there. There's Parker. He's going to look for him. Come down.
Catches over the middle. They're blitzing again. They leave the middle open. Disley or I'm blanking on the tight end. Disley or our guy from Carolina can get over here in the middle. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. Anyway, so plays like that can open up the middle when they blitz if you could pick it up. And Seattle did a pretty good job in the second half of picking up blitzes from Atlanta. They got to do it again.
What a tough.
Here's what you don't want to do. So again right here, you see all the guys on the line. You got an 8-man in the box, right? Now, the quarterback doesn't read that. He assumes that the Patriots are going to stunt because they probably ran blitzes the last few times, either running 5-man stunts or they just bring the house. They don't bring the house right here, and you fall back into zone coverage, and this is the result. If the quarterback is not smart enough to read it, which Russell Wilson is, because, this is apples to oranges. This is freaking, captain throwing interception, basically. So this is Fitzmagic. Now he still finds the receiver right here. I'm going to clip ahead. He finds the receiver over the middle in the zone.
It's Grant, and he cuts back upfield to pick up
All these people.
Here's where he doesn't find it right here. Here's where he should know that these guys are going to fall back. He sees single coverage, but it's not single
They're
coverage.
all down there, only 1 safety deep. That's where you can take advantage and take a shot and go for the end zone.
intercept.
Now, see, that's my problem with Fitzmagic. He went back to pass, and he saw that all of them faded back, and he still threw and looked down the receiver. Now, we all know Russell Wilson looks to several different receivers before throwing the football, so that's a good sign. But that's just not what you want to do, and I'm just saying this is something that if you have a receiver that you're going to go to on a hot read because the blitz is coming, Fitzpatrick took the snap, and he thought hot read, and he stuck with hot read. So he tried to throw it where he wanted it in the first place, over the middle for the first down. But he didn't realize, or it didn't compute for whatever reason, that everyone faded back and the safety or linebackers was right there, and it was just an easy pick. He threw it to him better than he did the receiver. Russell's going to see that hot read, and then he might go over the top, or he might try to go somewhere else with it, tuck it, and run it if there's no one in the middle. Because there really wasn't that much of a pass rush. They all faded back. So
At the 40-yard line.
those are my highlights and, my keys. I'm sorry I had a couple of them off. I was making this video kind of quick. I'll take my time next week because I had a busy day today. Anyway, that is my breakdown for the Seahawks, what they need to do. Wilson's got to read that defense. We got to run some, like I said, recap. We got to establish the run, and we've got to have time of possession. That's just a bad sign without the 12-man there. And then also without if we're allowing them to dictate the game. If Cam Newton's getting up there and doing the whole chest thing, or he's pointing first down, which is super annoying, and with a big old smile, his Medea glasses, it's gonna suck. And we got to punch these guys in the mouth, and we got to take control of this game before Belichick feels high and mighty and starts pulling off little razzle-dazzle plays. And then we just look really bad. But, this is a new Seahawk defense. This isn't the defense from last year. I think Jamal Adams and Wagner are going to have something to say about it. and the rest of that secondary, dude. I'm really looking forward to seeing Trey Flowers and Shaquem Griffin on either side, shutting things down, Dunbar in the nickel. So I'm ready. I hope you guys are ready. And my predictions on this game, I got the Seahawks winning this one 27-17. I think it's a little close, or 28-17, but I think Seattle puts up 2 first-half touchdowns and 2 second-half touchdowns and puts this one away. And I think they struggle in the first half configuring to that new Patriots offense, but I think in the second half, Pete hasn't prepared, and we limit them to a field goal. So that's my prediction. Let me know if I'm anywhere close on your predictions for the game, and I hope I did an all right job on this video. Like I said, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get better every week. So until then, this is a Seahawker show, and hopefully we have a good recap coming on Sunday. I'll do a recap video and post it on Monday. Till then, go Hawks.